So many governments in Africa, that has led so many coups in Africa and other parts of the world. A country that has killed so many of our leaders in Africa and other parts of the world. The killers of Patrice Lumumba, those who toppled Kwame Nkrumah, those who killed Nasser, those who killed Muammar Gaddafi, today are coming to teach us about democracy. A country that has been built on brutal force, on enslavement of other human beings, on the humiliation of Africans, the exploitation of Africans, the plunder of Africa, today is coming to teach us about democracy. If you have no respect for the
Shalom, giving all praise unto Abashima Shabashima Kodash, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors to brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Above everybody are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kodash. It's going to be a relatively quick video. We're going to touch on the topic of the hypocrisy of the red Hebrew Edomite. And I don't really have any particular precepts in mind to get to, but if the Spirit will, a number of precepts are going to come to mind. But the first precept I have on the material that we just watched, and I think I'm going to go to the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter 2 after this. But the first one is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And that is, then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the fire of his spirit, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So we're in a time right now where Esau and his nature, regardless of the PR that they try to spin the information with, they're being revealed right now. And we're getting to the point where you can't spin it anymore, right? You can't spin it anymore because the day of the internet, we're in a day and a time where the internet is available to everybody, and it's available. And some of this information and disinformation is available in real time. And so what happens is when they push out there some disinformation, man, the Most High's got the spirit out there so heavy that they could, brothers can make videos about it. Brothers can make videos about it. People in the world that the Most High's bestowed a particular spirit of truth on them, they can reveal it. So the day of Esau trying to push his agenda onto the people, and that's going to be a good scripture to get to in the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter, where the scripture talks about how that they was going to try to impose their borders across the four corners of the earth for intensive purposes. The day where that goes unchecked, or where leaders of the world, the ones that are kind of rebellious, like Gaddafi was rebellious, and many individuals were named there that was rebellious, and they weren't really trying to get down with the Red Hebrew Edomite program because of the sovereignty of their own people. They can make particular statements, and those statements was going to go throughout the four corners of the earth and reverberate. So we're certainly in the time where that wicked is being revealed, and everything is going to lead back to the scriptures. And the closer we get to the time of the Lord Yahweh Shai, the more you're going to see, right? The more you're going to see a situation where the Most High Yahweh Shai is going to reveal this man for the man he is, right? Which is the devil that the Bible speaks about. Habakkuk, the second chapter and the third verse, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So we can't speed through this thing, although sometimes you feel like you want to speed through this thing because of the hell that we be going through. But the Most High has appointed a time for the wicked to be revealed. The Most High has appointed a time for these prophecies to come to pass. The Most High has appointed a time for all things, right? Including the wicked being revealed, including the wicked getting his punishment and his judgment, including these nations showing the hatred that they have toward the red Hebrew Edomite. Where everybody knows that he's got a forked tongue, but the platform and the information wasn't readily available in the past like how it is right now, especially with the advent of the men of the Lord going out there. Now the rhetoric against the red Hebrew Edomite is really going out there heavy and hard. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end he shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. Right? and it will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up with pride, because they want to impose their so-called enlightenment. They want to impose their so-called democracy onto different nations within the world. And hence the scripture, the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, how the Babylon's been a golden cup within the Lord's hand. They want to impose themselves across the entirety of the globe, but the Most High is revealing that what they're trying to impose, of which there's nothing wrong with a dictatorship in righteousness. There's actually nothing wrong with a dictatorship in righteousness. If you see our laws, our statutes, and our commandments that the Most High has given unto us, you really come to the understanding that, yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with it. There's actually nothing wrong with a righteous dictatorship where you enforce righteous laws unto the people. The thing with the red Hebrew Edomite is he imposes unrighteous laws onto people. If you got a movement, if you got a disposition towards iniquity, the red Hebrew Edomite will create a whole political movement to support that, right? That's where you get these rainbow anti-Messiah agenda that we see throughout the four corners of the earth. That's supported by the red Hebrew Edomite. The red Hebrew Edomite supports that. Okay, it gives you a political movement for that. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say this is a very wicked society, and the soul that's within the red Hebrew Edomite is wicked. It's unrighteous, and this is being revealed throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, this is being revealed throughout the four corners of the earth. Let me continue here. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright, but the just shall live by faith. And we do indeed live by the faith and the hope that Yahweh Shai is going to return soon and take this man out of the position of rulership. That's what we're hoping and praying for. Okay, the scriptures speaks about the patience and the faith of the saints, and it links it up to the judgment of the wicked. And that kind of makes sense, man. The actual righteous man of the Lord was going to be on the earth, living and hoping for the downfall of their enemies. That makes sense. They wasn't going to be looking to be hand in hand with their enemies. They was going to be looking and hoping for their enemies to be destroyed. Right? And the scripture goes on to continue. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. And the wine is associated and affiliated to the democracy. Matter of fact, the democracy is one of the main ways they perpetuate their lives throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? You could link up the NWO to their democracy. That's how they want to rule, right? Okay, that's where you get the terms technocracy and all of this different kind of stuff. That's their ruling style. That's what they're trying to impose upon the people. And I know I'm using the word democracy, but the more better word is going to be wine, right? The word wine is a more fitting word because they could use democracy, they could use dictatorship, they could use a variety of different ways that Esau's ruled throughout the ages, but it's still his wine. It's still his philosophies that he tries to impose upon the people. So wine is a much better word to use, right? Because he transgresseth by wine. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, like the guy just explained on the video that Esau don't want, the red Hebrew Edomite don't want to keep home, man. This dude is in everybody's land. He's in everybody's land, but let's say you go through the proper paperwork to go into England, right? And you're a so-called Jamaican or you're a so-called African. You think they're going to make you comfortable there? And that's after you've gone through the proper paperwork. That's after you've gone through the paperwork. Here it is, they trashed your whole country up. You're looking for a better family, a better life for your family. And this dude will still look down on you when you move to his place. That's a damn hypocrite, man. It's a damn hypocrite. They trashed your country. They rape, rob, and murder the people that lives within your country. Look what they're doing out there within the Ukraine. Look what they did out there within Iraq. Look what they did out there within all of these places. The American military, with the support of NATO. Look what they did to the people that was there. How they took the resources. Now you get an immigrant from these countries coming into your country, and they're coming into England, right, Spain, France, and they get the most racial abuse, right, and get made to feel very uncomfortable. When the reason why they're there is because what? Is because Esau's gone up into there, expanded his borders, and stolen all of these resources. Now he wants to impose his wine and his philosophies onto the people to so-called build them back up when he was the initiator of that place being destroyed in the first place. Damn devil, man. Who enlarges his desires as hell and cannot be satisfied, and is as deaf, but gathereth unto himself all nations and heapeth unto himself all people. That's Esau right there, man. That's Esau to a T. And yeah, man, he's gonna be revealed in these last days, and the Most High is gonna destroy him. Man. He's gonna send his son to take him out. So with that, I'm going to say, all praise unto Yahweh, Shema Shai, Bashim, Kor HaKodash, double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. Honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.